So we are now moving on to the next section, 154. Then, after silence, a still, blissful cry began, such as arose from the infinite when the first whisperings of a strange delight imagined in its deep the joy to see, the passion to discover and to touch, the enamored love which rhymed the chanting words. He has said so many things in just a few lines, you see. After the silence, a still, blissful cry. Of course, here, now the still is an adjective. Sorry, it's not an adjective. It is an adverb actually. Yeah, yeah. Still, yet more, still, yet more in that sense. It's not tranquil in that sense. Then after silence, a still blissful cry. It is tranquil actually. Here the sense is of tranquil, still blissful cry. Tranquil, still in the sense of tranquil adjective. Then after the silence, a still blissful cry began, such as arose. Now what kind of cry? A cry which was heard at the beginning of things, such as arose from the infinite when the first whisperings of a strange delight imagined its deep, the joy to seek. The cry has a quality belonging to this part. Such as arose from the infinite when the infinite started expressing itself or himself or whatever you want to call it. When the first whisperings of a strange delight, he felt a kind of a delight in the beginning, the delight of a creation at the beginning of things. And that delight for what? The delight, the deep, is a deep, the joy to seek. See, it's very, very complex. So this cry is a very kind of primordial cry. The exteriorization of the non-manifest, seeking its own delight in expression. That joy which it felt, it is that quality which is now present in this answer the Supreme is going to make to Savitri. After silence, a still blissful cry began, such as the quality is of that type, arose from the infinite when the first whisperings of a strange delight imagined its deep, the joy to seek. It wants to express itself in its own depth. It is trying to seek a joy of expression. And when that joy of expression was there, that whispering was there, it is that quality which is now being observed in the present answer of the Supreme to Savitri. Then after silence, a still blissful cry began, such as arose from the infinite when the first whisperings of a strange delight imagined in its deep, the joy to seek, the passion to discover and to touch. Well, this is an expansion of joy to seek. joy to seek, the passion to discover, the enamored love, they are expansions of the same phrase, joy to seek. So when the delight of expression is there right in the beginning, as if the non-manifest wants to come out into manifestation from its deep, it wants to come out into manifestation, and the kind of joy, the delight it experiences, it is that delight is now being reproduced, so to say, in the present state. In other words, the answer is going to be the answer in the context of the seeking of a joy in the manifestation. Seeking of a joy in the manifestation. The passion to discover and to touch, the enamored love which rhymed the chanting worlds. Now, this is something little strange when we also go back to what was offered to Savitri earlier. See, Savitri was offered four things. Peace, oneness, energy, and joy. And peace, oneness, energy, joy were in the context of Savitri being told to come back to her Supreme Self and forget about earth. She was offered all those things. She was told, forget about earth and all that kind of thing, come back and stay here. She was told. In fact, the statement is a very strong statement. In a happy, vast, sublime cessation, no. Forget about those things. Cease from all that thing. Cease to be there. Come back and live in your eternity. In a cessation to know. An immense extension in eternity, get extinguished in eternity, she was told. A point that disappears in the infinite, don't have your own existence at all, forget about everything. Felicity of the extinguished flame, she was told, you see. Last sinking of a wave in a boundless sea. So the wave disappears completely into the sea, into the infinite ocean. End of the trouble. That would mean end of the trouble of the wandering thoughts. Close of the journey of thy pilgrim soul. This is what she was told, she was offered. Cessation. All these things are actually the arguments for her to cease to be. Exactly. And now he says now, yeah, this is what we're trying to see. Yeah, see. So the Supreme is telling to Savitri, forget about the whole thing, come and live here quietly, peacefully, everything is all right. But the beauty of the whole thing is, but someone yearned within the bosom unknown.
Who is that someone?
She, in her bosom. Someone, there is somebody in her who is yearning for something.
It's Savitri, no?
And silently the woman's heart replied, "Thy peace, O Lord." See. Thy peace, O Lord. She was asked to cease and remain in the non-manifest condition. That is the peace, kind of peace. And silently the woman's heart replied, "Thy peace, O Lord, a boon within to keep amid the roar and tune of wild time for the magnificent soul of man and earth." So that is the something which is yearned by someone. Someone yearned. What did that someone yearn? The peace of the Lord for the soul of man and earth. And then second time again, she is offered oneness. My spirit leans down to break the knot of earth, amorous of oneness without thought or sign. It is all kind of a blank oneness, without thought or sign. To cast down wall and fence, to strip heaven bare, see with large eyes of infinity and weave the stars into the silence, etc. And then again, Savitri hears. She heard a million creatures cry to her in that oneness, the whole creation which is there. Thy oneness, Lord, for many approaching hearts, my sweet infinity of the numberless souls. I want that oneness identity with you for the souls of. And the third time, thy energy, Lord, to seize on man and woman. For what purpose? For the creature on earth. And the last time, the great warning sound heard. This is a warning sound. The danger is great. To open the wide eye of solitude, to uncover the voiceless rapture of smiling, motionless slumber of ecstasy, resting from the sweet madness of dawn, out of whose beat the throb of heart was born. And Savitri says, thy embrace, Lord, thy joy, O Lord, in which all creatures breathe. So she wants everything. So there is someone in her, deep in her soul, who is completely identifying himself or herself with the world here and is not willing to give it up at all. She could have gone and forgotten about the whole thing, but there is something deep in her. No, I want to be here all the while. So, not peace, not oneness, not power or joy, not power or energy, not joy. If at all I want all those things, I want for earth and man. for earth and men. Now, this is most tremendous kind of a moment. Had she gone away with that offer, then the world would have remained as it was, and possibly it would have meant another dissolution, pralaya, complete pralaya. So there is someone within the soul of Savitri who is yearning for that. No, it cannot be now. You would have been a complete pralaya also. Thy peace, O Lord, a boon within to keep amid the roar and ruin of wild time for the magnificent soul of earth, of man and earth. We don't know we have a magnificent soul. Thy calm, O Lord, that bears the hands of joy. Thy oneness, Lord, in many approaching hours, my sweet infinity of thy numberless soul. Thy energy, Lord, to seize on woman and man, to take all things and creatures in their grief and gather them into a mother's arm. That is the embrace. Thy embrace, which rend the living knot of pain, the joy, O Lord, in which all creatures breathe, the magic flowing waters of deep love, the sweetness, thy sweetness give to me for earth and men. I don't want it for myself, but you have to give it to me for earth and men. This is her prayer. Now this is the turning moment in the entire history of evolution. A decisive forward step towards a higher manifestation is taken at this particular moment by Savitri. The history is totally different now from this point onward, you see. Now, this is of course young Savitri who is telling such great things to the Supreme Himself. To the Supreme Himself. When has she done all this sadhana? When has she realized the importance of such a prayer that it is on it the entire future of evolution is going to get hinged? This girl, hardly 20 years old, she already had that knowledge and that understanding of things, and she is demanding for this. But then we are given a little clue. Someone within her, that someone who has been living to the entire course of evolution, in fact, who has been kind of shaping all the movements of evolution. It is someone who is coming forward. Now, the greatness of this girl is that she has totally identified herself with that someone within her. That someone has fully come out. In fact, that is the entire merit of Savitri's yoga. Savitri's yoga is for what? That someone who is there within, you know him first, be one with him, and everything will be taken care of then from that point onward. So, there's someone we are trying to see in the context of mother's prayers and meditations. Mother, 1914, you see, hardly in her 30s, the choice is already made by her at such an early stage of her sadhana. The foundation for the choice was, of course, prepared in the particular birth. By developing all the occult faculties within herself. Her association with Thion, mother's association with Thion, corresponds more or less to the same period. It is on that foundation, suddenly this thing has burst out, has opened out, has flowered, has blossomed. Prayers and meditation. This is an early stage in the 30s, you see. And what does she say? In the silence of the night, thy peace reign over all things. In the silence of my heart, thy peace reigns always. And when these two silences were united, you see, thy peace was so powerful that no disturbance of any kind could resist it. See, she was offered, thy peace, Lord. Thy peace, Lord. That is the peace. She already has that in her. In 112, like a flame that burns in silence, like a perfume that rises straight upward without wavering, my love goes to thee. And like a child who does not reason and has no care, I trust myself to thee, that thy will may be done. This is at the age of 34. That thy light may manifest, thy peace radiate, thy love cover the world. Cover the world, thy love cover the world. She wants it for the world. I await that blessed hour without impatience of any kind. Thy peace is in me, and in that peace I see thee alone, present in everything, with the calm of eternity. O Lord, thou hast given me thy power, that peace and joy may reign over the world. Peace, power, joy. The three boons of oneness, over the world because of oneness. And this being is now only an embrace of peace enveloping the whole earth, an ocean of joy breaking over all things. O you who are full of hatred, rancor shall be effaced from your hearts as the sea effaces an imprint upon the sands. O Lord, sweet Master of love, thou who bringest us out of the darkness to awaken the consciousness, who deliverest us from suffering to make us commune with thy eternal peace. Every morning my aspiration soars ardently towards thee, that thy sovereign law, and let themselves be definitively transformed by it, by the sovereign law. What has to be, will be. What has to be done, will be done. what has to be will be. Well, this is already established in her because someone within her is opening out. And if someone within her is now opening out to the Supreme, who is present in front of her as the incarnate. June 1914, the mother was already in the ashram with Shivandu at that time. So when she is opening out in the presence of the Supreme, all this glorious thing. What a calm assurance thou hast put into my being, O Lord. Who or what will manifest thee? Who can see it? In all things that strive towards a new, ever higher, completer expression, thou art present. A higher, completer expression. She's already visualizing that thing. O Divine Master, that which has to be will be, and it will perhaps be very different from what all expect. Each time that the heart lives with the touch of thy divine breath, a little more beauty seems to be born upon the earth. The air is embalmed with a sweet perfume, all becomes more friendly, etc. Thou hast heaped thy favors upon me. Thou hast heaped thy favors upon me. What are the favors? Peace, oneness, energy, power, and joy. These are the favors. They have been heaped upon her. All these blessed hours, all earth sings the hymn of gladness. See again, the emphasis on earth, earth, earth. On earth. Tell me, wilt thou grant me the marvelous power to give birth to this dawn in expectant hearts? She wanted power for what purpose? Yeah. To awaken the consciousness of men to thy sublime presence. What loftiness. Whatever she wants is for awaken the consciousness of men to thy sublime presence. O Lord, never have I implored thee in vain. For that which speaks to thee is thyself in me. That is someone. Someone within. Who is a someone? That which speaks to thee in thyself in me. It is actually you who are within me who is speaking to you. Then again in 1914 itself she says, thou art the sovereign power of transformation. So when he is granting the boon, he is actually granting the power of transformation. Why should thou not act on all who are brought into contact with thee through our mediation? Our mediation. Our. Shivandu and the mother. To the Supreme Lord. We lack faith in thy. Well, I don't know. This I don't know. We lack faith in. we call. Shivandu doesn't lack faith in. We lack faith in thy power. Always we think that men should in their conscious thought want this integral transformation for it to come to about. We forget that it is thou who wills in them and that thou can. So this she is identifying with everybody, and in that context she says we doubt the power, O Lord, and thus become bad intermediaries for it and wield the power. In each one of the domains of the being, the consciousness must be awakened to the perfect existence, knowledge and bliss. These three worlds, or modes of divine, are found in the physical reality as well as in the states of force and light and those of personality. See, this is the realization of consciousness, perfect existence, knowledge and bliss. Existence, knowledge and bliss in the physical reality. Oh, give to everyone, Lord, the boon of that incomparable bliss. This is what Savitri is asking. Just at the moment when I was feeling the imperious need of resuming these notes, she was writing these things, prayers and meditations. It has settled in something definitive, and all the outer activity which apparently continues as usual has become mechanical, like a marvelously articulated and animated toy moving with the consciousness from the height of its seat, which, though no longer individual, is still universal. No longer individual is still universal. That is, which is not yet completely merged in thyself, not yet completely merged in thy oneness. That is the thing. She cannot merge herself without losing her individuality. Even in that oneness, if she merges, she maintains her individuality, her uniqueness. That is the greatness of Savitri. That is the distinctness of Savitri. This is a very great statement in 1914. All the laws of individual manifestation have become clear to me. Now I understand what I am here for. You see, because I have not totally lost myself into that thing. I kind of maintained my uniqueness, my distinctness in that oneness. So I understand what I am supposed to do here. So you see, this is the tremendous thing what we have got here. Peace, power, oneness, joy. And then after that, prayer of Savitri. Then after silence, a still, blissful cry began, such as arose from the infinite when the first whisperings. See, now you can understand why the first whisperings of the delight in the context of the whole thing, you see. Imagine in this deep, the joy to see, the passion to discover. I don't know, I mean, of course, our logical mind would say that the poet has written all these things on the basis of what is there in the prayers and meditations. You see? Yeah. As if he has put those prayers and meditations in a poetic form. That's the identity of experience, the identity of realization, identity of knowledge which is there. Thy passion, the passion discovered, the enamored love which rhymed the chanting word. Oh, beautiful body of the incarnate word, thy thoughts are mine, I have spoken with thy voice. Now again, you see, I mean, there is so much beautiful body of the incarnate word. He doesn't simply say, oh, beautiful incarnate word, etc., etc. Body of the incarnate word, the physical, the concreteness, the definiteness, you see, firmness. Incarnate word, that is the attribute of Savitri. She is incarnation. Word, as I have been telling you, stands for Brahma, the creator word, the power of expression himself, you see. So she is the incarnation of the creative power herself here, in the physical form, body. And then, thy thoughts are mine, I have spoken with thy voice. Now this man is making a contradiction. First he tells, look, forget about all these things. Thy thoughts are mine. Now that is a little puzzle, you see. I have spoken with thy voice. Yes, I have been telling you something else earlier, but I was keeping something back in my mind. It is that which was there back in my mind, it is that which you have spoken. And therefore, I accept what you are requesting, praying for. Why did he keep it back in his mind and say something which was not there really in his mind? Forget about the whole thing, come back here. Why did he say that thing at all? Because what he is going to give, he is not going to impose upon anyone. He is not going to impose upon anyone. He will grant it, but he will not impose it. You have to ask for it. You have to ask for it. Then it will be granted. So in a certain sense, he was kind of urging Savitri to demand this boon. Only when she demands it, then it will be granted. He is not simply going to give it to her. All that long dialogue, etc., is that she has to ask for that, for earth and man. Then only be given. That is why he was holding it back. The divine can guide you. The divine does not drive you. He will not drive you. He will guide you. Because you have to drive yourself. All the help is there. You have to walk. You have to walk. He will guide you, he will give you all kind of support, whatever is required for that. But then finally, you have to make your own effort. That is what we are here. Savitri has to ask. The divine wants a higher manifestation here, of course, but he is not going to impose upon you. It has to come out as a kind of an expression of your urge. Oh, beautiful body of the incarnate Word. Therefore, word, expression, it is in that context again. My will is thine. What thou hast chosen, I choose. So now the reverse is there. See? All thou hast asked, I give to earth and men. What a powerful line. Monosyllabic again. All thou hast asked, I give to earth and men. All thou hast asked, all thou, Praki, hast asked, I am. I give, I am. To earth, I am. And men, I am. All shall be written out in destiny's book. By my trustee of thought and plan and act, the executor of my will, eternal time. Yes, I will it, but who executes my will? Time. Things unfold, event after event. Time. Time is measured not by clock, but by events. All shall be written out in destiny's book. Whatever you have asked for shall be written out. By my trustee of thought and plan and act. Who is the trustee? Time. Executor of my will is also the executor, both executor and trustee. But since thou hast refused my nameless calm and turned from my termless peace in which is expunged the visage of space and the shape of time is lost, and from happy extension of thy separate self in my uncompanioned lone eternity, because thou hast obeyed my timeless will, I lay my hands upon thy soul of flame. I lay my hands upon thy heart of love. I yoke to thee to my power of work in time. So what is this? She says, I had offered you this, you have refused him. Therefore, I make you now my slave. I lay my hands upon thy soul of flame. I lay my hands upon thy heart of love. I yoke thee to my power of work in time. You could have come and stayed very peacefully, quietly in this world here, but you have refused it. You have refused it. I had offered you that. Come and stay here. But because you have refused it, therefore now I will put you now for carrying out these works, these tasks. I lay my hands upon thy soul of flame. That is the quality of Savitri, soul of flame. I lay my hands upon thy heart of love. I yoke thee to my power of work in time. Now this is important. Time is his trustee and his executor of his will. But it is now she who is going to be yoked to do the work in time. The fulfillment of time's work will be through her. It's a long sentence. But since thou hast refused my nameless calm and turned from my termless peace in which is expunged the visage of space and the shapes of time is lost, so space and time, everything is gone. You have refused that thing, you see. And from happy extension of thy separate self, yes, I had offered you to forget about your separate self and merge yourself here. And happy extension of thy separate self in my uncompanioned lone eternity. And offered you that. Come back here. For not for thee the nameless, wordless not. But for you it is not, it is nothing without any word or any name or any content in the form. It's not. Annihilation of thy living soul, it is not for you. Annihilation is not for you. And the end of thought and hope and life and love in the blank, measureless, unknowable, it is not for you at all. That you get lost into the unknowable, disappear into the unknowable. Therefore, because you are in space and time and activity and all that thing, therefore, I now put you to do this work. I yoke thee to my power of work in time. Because thou hast obeyed my timeless will, because thou hast chosen to share a struggle and fate and lean in pity over earth-bound men and turned aside to help and yearn to save. I bind by thy harsh passion thy heart to mine, and lay my splendid yoke upon thy soul. He is repeating same, yoke upon thy soul. Because you had obeyed my timeless will. Now will I do in thee my marvelous works. Now will I do, because you have not accepted my offer and chosen to do something for the earth, and it is my will also. Therefore, in the course of time who is the trustee and executor of my will, to his yoke, I bind you to that, and therefore you do my marvelous works. Now this is now, obviously, because she has offered that kind of a thing. My marvelous work. So until now, these were not his marvelous works. But now, from now onward, will be really his marvelous works. What are the marvelous works?
New creation.
New creation, of course, yeah. New creation, of course. Marvelous works. Works, plural.
Transformation.
Transformation. Yeah, well, there are a number of things. He is going to describe now these marvelous works one by one. Yeah. I will now do in thee my marvel. In thee, that is important. It is only because of her that the new creation, the new manifestation, whatever is possible, the marvelous works possible because of her only, none else. I will fasten thy nature with my cords of strength, subdue to my delight the spirit's limb. So, one of the marvelous works will be, he will fasten her nature to the cause of his strength. Her nature will be fastened by his strength. That is one of the marvelous works he will do. So whatever she is going to do, she will do with his strength. Subdue to my delight the spirit's limb. That is the second marvelous work he will do. Thy spirit's limb, and make thee a vivid knot of all my bliss, and build in thee my proud and crystal home, proud and crystal home. So these are the marvelous verses narrating as examples, you see. Fasten her with strength. Let her limbs be full of delight, bliss, and build in thee my proud and crystal home. That is the new creation.
What is the crystal?
That is the new creation.
Why crystal?
Crystal, clear, beautiful, clear, transparent. Proud and crystal home. Thy days shall be my shafts of power and light. So that is the marvelous work. Continuing. Thy nights, so it's not only day but also night. The nights, my starry mysteries of joy, and all my clouds lie tangled in the hair, and all my spring tides marry in thy mouth. So he is listing one by one the marvelous works.
But this is a hint of Shiva.
No, there is no
Clouds
Shiva.
tangled in thy hair, spring tides marry in thy
No, there is no
mouth.
Shiva there.
No, are you sure?
No.
The,
Thy day shall be my shafts of power and light.
yes.
So, the power and light are the beginning things. The day will be full of light, full of power. And night, starry mysteries of joy. So, although there is night, But there is a beauty in that, there is a mystery of joy in that. It is that joy which will be kind of unfolding. So now it is not to be in that kind of thing condemned. There is a joy in that thing, and it is that joy which will come out. And all my clouds like tangled in the hair. See, this is exactly what we have got in the boon Ashwapati had received. 91.6. All mights and greatnesses shall join in her. Ashwapati was told that she will come, and in her all mights and greatnesses shall join in her. This is exactly what we are seeing here. Join in her. Beauty shall walk celestial on the earth. Delight shall sleep in the cloud net of her hair. So the hair is like a cloud net, like a bird nest, and sleep. And in her body, as on his homing tree, immortal love shall beat his glorious wing. So these are the marvelous works she will do by the boon she is receiving here now. She has come here and she is demanding that boon. I come for that, you please grant that boon. Thy days shall be my shafts of power and light, the nights my starry mysteries of joy, and all my clouds like tangled in the hair, and all my springtides merry in the mouth. O sunward, thou shalt raise the earth's soul to light, and bring down God into the lives of men. Earth shall be my work chamber, and my house a garden of light to plant a seed divine. So these are the marvelous words. Continuing, O sun word. Earlier we had the incarnate word. Sun, Savitra. Savitra, Savitra. Sun is Savitra. Sun is the Savitra. Word, power of expression. In words, this is the English rendering of Savitri. What is Savitri? The sun word. Savitra is the sun god. His daughter, his power of expression, daughter, his issue is Savitri. Sun word is actually Savitri. Thou shalt raise the earth's soul to light. So actually, who is going to raise the soul of the earth to light? Only Savitri. She alone can do that. And bring God down into the lives of men. She will do both. Earth shall be my work chamber, and my house, my garden of life, to plant a seed divine. To plant a seed divine. So when all that marvelous, glorious work is done in time, a seed will be sown. So we have to still wait for that. We have to still wait for my garden of life to plant a seed divine. Now this seed divine, we shall see later on, is a crimson seed. Crimson seed of ecstasy. Then shall thy work in human time is done. So marvelous verse here described. When all that is done, then all thy work in human time is done. Human time is done. This human time, and up to what point? Till a seed divine is cast in the earth soil. My garden of life to plant a seed divine. When that seed divine is cast, then from that point onward, it is no more in that sense human time. Then all my work in human time is done. The mind of earth shall be a home of light. The life of earth, a tree growing towards heaven. The body of earth, a tabernacle of God. So that's a temple. Life growing towards heaven. Mind open to light. When all my work in human time is done, it is in the context of human time that mind, life, body are finding their fulfillment. The mind of earth shall be a home of light. The life of earth, a tree growing towards heaven. The body of earth, a tabernacle of God. Awakened from the mortal's ignorance, man shall be lit with the eternal's ray, and the glory of my sun lift in their thought, and fill their heart the sweetness of my love, and in their acts my powers miraculous strive. My will shall be the meaning of their days, living for me, by me, in me, they shall live. So this is the formula of the divine democracy. All the people, by the people, for the people, see. The divine democracy, living for me, by me, in me, shall live. Now that is the new creations. In the heart of my creation's mystery, I will enact the drama of thy soul. So, when the work in human time is done, all these things will happen, and then in the heart of my creation's mystery, I will enact the drama of thy soul. It is from that point onward, the real drama of her soul will begin. What is a drama? It's a drama inscribing the long romance of thee and me. What is that romance? I will pursue thee across the century. Through the passage of time, I will be always there. Thou shalt be hunted to the world by love, naked of ignorance, protecting veil. So there will be no more the protecting veil of ignorance there at that time. Naked of ignorance, protecting veil, and without cover from my radiant gods, no shade shall screen thee from my divine desire. You will be no more now protected by the veil of ignorance. You will be no more covered by my radiant gods. It will be a direct relationship between you and me. Roman, no shape shall screen thee from my divine desire. Nowhere shall thou escape my living eyes. So that's the romance. Nowhere shall thou escape my living eyes. I'll be seeing there everywhere. In the nudity of thy discovered self, in a bare identity with all that is, disrobed of thy covering of humanity, divested to the dense veil of human thought, made one with every mind and body and heart, made one with all nature and with self and God, summing in thy single soul a mystic world, I will possess in thee my universe. The universe find all I am in thee. The universe find all I am in thee. that it is in her that the universe will see him everywhere. I will possess thee in thee, my universe. It is in you that I will take charge, possession of this universe to you. She will be the mattress. I will possess in thee, my universe. The universe find all I am in thee. Thou shalt bear all things, that all things may change. Thou shalt fill all with my splendor and my bliss. Thou shalt meet all with my transforming soul. Tremendous lines. See, these are practically monosyllabic lines. Thou shalt bear all things, that all things may change. I will scan this line. Thou shalt bear 1 foot, all things 2nd foot, that all 3rd foot, things may. Thou shalt bear all things, that all. Thou shalt bear all things, that all things may change. Now, what it means is that if there has to be any change, thou shalt bear all things, that all things may change. If there has to be a change, it will be only because of her, because through her. You can't skip it. Thou shalt bear all things, that all things may change. Thou shalt fill with my splendor and my bliss. Thou shalt meet all with my transmuting soul. So she the key, assailed by my infinitudes above and quivering in immensities below, pursued by me through my mind's wall-less wow, oceanic with the surges of my life, a swimmer lost between 2 leaping seas, by my outer plane pain and inner sweetnesses, finding my joy in my opposite mystery. Thou shalt respond to me from every nerve. Now, assailed by infinities above, immensities below, pursued by me, my mind's wall-less was oceanic with the surges of life. Now, infinities above, 2 leaping seas. These are the 2 leaping seas. Infinities above and immensities below. These are characterized again by outer pain and inner sweetness. This is one infinity, this is another infinity. Finding my joy in my opposite mysteries. So these are the mysteries of pain and sweetness, of 2 leaping seas. Thou shalt respond to me from every nerve. So whatever be the condition, state, you will respond to me. A vision shall compel thy coursing breath. Thy heart shall drive thee on the wheel of words. Thy mind shall urge thee to the flames of thought, to meet me in the abyss and on the height, to feel me in the tempest and the calm, and love me in the noble and the wild. See, noble and wild, tempest and calm, again those opposites are being abyss and heights. Things beautiful and things terrible. the two leaping seas, you see. The pains of hell shall be to thee my kiss. The flowers of heaven pursued thee with my touch. Again, same thing, part of those two seas. My fiercest mass shall my attractions bring. Music shall find thee in the voice of souls. Beauty pursue thee to the core of flame. Thou shalt know me in the rolling of the spheres and cross me in the atoms of the world. Atoms of the world. So you'll see me everywhere. The wheeling of forces of my universe shall cry to thee the summons of my name. Delight shall drop down from my nectarous moon, that is Soma, the divine, the Vedic Soma, nectarous moon. My fragrance is thee in the jasmine's snare. My eyes shall look upon thee from the sun. Mirror of nature's secret spirit made, thou shalt reflect my hidden heart of joy. Thou shalt drink down my sweetness unalloyed. In my pure lotus cup of starry brim. Well, this is poetry. My tearful hands laid on thy bosom shall force thy being bathed in fiercest longing stream. Thou shalt discover the one and quivering note, and cry the harp of all my melody, and roll my foaming wave in seas of love. Even my disastrous clutch shall be to thee the ordeal of my rapturous controversy. In pains itself shall smile on thee, my secret foe. Thou shalt bear my ruthless beauty unabridged, amid the cause the world's intolerable wrong. Trampled with the violent mistakes of time, cry out to the ecstasy of my rapturous touch.